So is there any use case for the Cody token in this design?
So actually, it's kind of like uncorrelated and correlated in a way. So obviously, this whole thing runs on Cardano blockchain. It does not run on Coti's blockchain. But our partnership with IOG, right, co-development, means that we are entitled to some operational fee. It's not high, by the way. Let me cover the fees so that kind of like align everybody. So when you mint Shen, the fee is 0.2%. When you burn Shen, it's 0.5%. And Coti is taking no operational fee out of it. When you mint Djed, the fee is 1.5%. And then Coti takes 0.5% operational fee. When you burn Djed, it's exactly the same. So we're getting some operational fee. The rest and everything and mint and burn actually goes to Shen holders, does not go to Coti. So we use this operational fee and we use this ADA and put it in Coti's treasury. And people that hold Coti and are depositing it in Coti's treasury are actually getting these fees. So it's not Coti, the company that takes it, it's actually the holders of Coti that are part of Coti's treasury. So this is kind of like how we shift the value around.
And that 1%, other than the 0.5%, does that go back to Shen holders?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything goes to Shen holders. Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And so, by the way, if I can just add one more thing.
No worries.
One of the features that we are working on, and I would say relentlessly working on, is making sure that for the ADA that you've deposited in the smart contract, you will also get the staking rewards that comes out of it, right? So let's say, so let me kind of like go through like the benefits, right? So let's say you've minted Shen. What are you getting? So first of all, you're getting all the mint and burn fees, right? And as I've mentioned, we are estimating it. We can't really be sure. It depends on a lot of things, but let's say it's about 10% a year. This is what you're getting. This is classical DeFi. Let's say you provided liquidity to a pool. You're getting some of the fees associated with the pool. Great. So we estimate this is about 10% a year. You're getting, and again, this will be released hopefully very soon, the staking rewards. So standard staking rewards, let's say 3 to 5%, maybe, right? And it will probably be more on the high end. So that's almost 15%. You will get farming rewards, right? Because both for Djed and Shen, we've already locked partnerships with DEXs that will give like a lot of incentives for those who build liquidity pools in the DEX. Like from what I can disclose now, we're talking about 15% APR, right? So, and that's for stable coins, right? So you have the 15%, you have maybe another 15% coming from the DEX. So that kind of looks like 30%. And I think, and you get to keep your ADA, right? And if ADA price surges, you're making more than just the price surge, because as I've mentioned, you're getting an extra ADA for that. Okay. So I think if you are long on ADA, like I am, and Coti as a company is, this is probably one of the best moves that you can do. And again, not financial advice, none of that, but like just look at the data. That makes a lot of sense. So what would make it very successful? If this will be, a very substantial stable coin in the Cardano ecosystem, we think it will be. Not just because IOG backs it and develop it, because we already signed like 40 partnerships that we roll out at launch. So adoption will be super fast because obviously a stable coin is kind of like a big pillar for every ecosystem DeFi, lending and borrowing, payments, we all need stablecoins, right? So this will be quite big. And because this is actually the only decentralized, algorithmic, over-collateralized stablecoin that pays the rewards back to the community. I would say most, if not all, of the rewards actually go back to the community, whether it's the Cardano Echo system, shareholders, etc., or the Coti ecosystem. So I think this is why I think this will be quite big.
So of those 40 partnerships, what are the top 3 that you think will have the most impact, on Djed?
I would say at launch, probably the DEXs will be the biggest ones. We've signed with all of them, but we are prioritizing 3 big ones. And I don't want to give too much now, but I think people can speculate who will be the ones that we launch with. And again, this is a decentralized currency. Any DEX anywhere can open a pool, and people can open a pool. We don't discriminate, we don't control it at all. But we've just made sure that some DEXs will have a good farming plan to incentivize that. And of course, this will mean that these will be our launch partners. But as I mentioned, we are, with 40 partnerships, we are everywhere. NFT, gamings, wallets, liquidity, et cetera, et cetera.
So what are these liquidity farms on the DEXs, whether it be MinSwap, Sunday Swap, what are they being incentivized with to provide liquidity? Is that going to be Djed, Shen, or ADA?
What sort of incentives they give, or why do they do that?
What incentives do they give? Let's say you take, Shen or Djed and you provide it as liquidity, on the DEX. What are you earning, on a daily or epoch or every 30 days, depending on the DEX?
So you'll be earning, depending on what you provided. So you'll be earning, Djed or Shen from fees. You'll be earning the other side of the pair. Let's say it's ADA, so you'll be getting ADA. But you will also be getting the DEX token that they give as special incentives. They don't do that with all pools, but they will do that with Djed and Shen.
Okay, so then the Djed and Shen that you're earning will come from fees, I'm guessing, and then the additional rewards is, the MinSwap token or the Sunday token, whatever DEX that you're farming on. That makes sense.
Yeah, or Wing Riders. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So will Coti ever be a Cardano native token? That was a community question.
By the way, yeah. So Coti is actually. So obviously we have the trust chain, we have our native assets. This is where the magic happens. But Coti also exists on Ethereum as an ERC20 version, and we have some limited version on even on Binance Smart Chain because Binance was the first major exchange to list Coti. Coti is now listed pretty much everywhere. Coinbase, Kraken, Wobi, and so on and so forth. I mean, the only major exchange that never listed Coti was FTX. And it seemed to backfire to FTX. I'm just joking.
They did the same thing with ADA.
You see? Karma, yeah. Karma is a bitch. Now, one of the core technologies that Coti has is that we have our own bridge, right? Now running Bridge 2.0, and it just recently launched at its 2.0 version. And one of the cool things that we do with the bridge is allow Coti to exist on other networks, right? So Cardano is, and it's not a big secret, Cardano is definitely the next in line on our list. So what it would mean that you can actually create a version of Coti on the Cardano network and to exist there. You can also create a version of Djed to exist on the trust chain and allow deposits of Djed into Coti's treasury and vice versa. I mean, the way we see the future is definitely interoperable. There's not going to be one chain to rule them all. And in this future, we see Coti as layer one that has specific use cases and tries to optimize to solve them best. It's very hard, to solve everything with a general purpose layer one. There's obviously a lot of room for that, but like the way we see the future is making sure that our chain is the best to solve a thing. And our thing right now is payments. But as we will, gradually disclose in the coming weeks, is that we are venturing to a new and exciting use case for us, which is around regulation technology or RegTech. Like, we believe that you don't need to be an oracle to kind of like predict that regulation will come and come hard to our market. Now, I don't want to be in a future where you can either do very limited things or just stay in the shadows and in the hiding, right? To do innovative things. Like, I want to be in a future where we can build innovative technologies, but don't break the law of the land. Now, it's very difficult right now. Even if you want to be a good player, it's pretty difficult the way blockchains are built.
It's expensive.
So, expensive and again limited. So a lot of things can happen to you, right? Let's say you've done everything right, but someone just sent you money from Tornado Cash, right? Now the bank won't accept your money. Like, you've done personally nothing wrong. Just as an example. So we're thinking about how can a blockchain actually be suitable to Web3 type regulation? Like, how can we build something that makes a lot of sense and will allow developers, small to big, to actually develop systems that are efficient, that are innovative, but can keep regulation and constantly follow what is happening with regulation, because regulation is a moving target, right? It's a product that the government builds, and we want to make sure that we can build something that is flexible enough. But we'll talk about this more in the coming weeks and probably month and the next year or two.
I look forward to that. It's definitely, regulations obviously coming. We saw it even before the Luna crash and the now FTX.
Yes.
So it's going to come even quicker now.